Hey everybody! I think my camera is being a little wonky today. I have my new lights going thanks to Teresa. So I am hoping that y'all can see. Today we're just going to be going over colors and the method to my madness as to why I pick them and how I pick them. And my camera is being really wonky. I don't know what's going on with it. Let me try and clean it really fast. Hang on. Hang on, just let me clean it. I know, looks funny. Ooh, that's better. Okay. Much better. At least I think it is. My camera's just being crazy today. So, I don't really have a whole huge method to my madness or anything like that. I pretty much just look at my colors and I'm trying to find, I'm late today because I was actually trying to find this chart that I have. So I don't know if any of you have this or know what that is. Does anybody know what that is? Has anybody seen one of these before? Let me know if you've seen one. Here we go. Here's my chart. And let me know if you guys have seen one of these before. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Tay. I haven't seen you in a while, Lita. So this is, I colored all this. So these would actually look like this if you saw it brand new. And this is just, it's like a little checkbook. It just fits in your purse, but it's a little swatch book for all the different colors. And you can just go through and you can color it just like I've colored mine in. So it has all the different colors and you can just color it in. Mine's really sloppy. So a lot of the times I will look at these versus looking at the caps of my pens. Because let's see, Meadow, my daughter picked one out. Or no, it wasn't Meadow. It was Teresa who picked these out the other day. If you look at these three here, the G03, G05, and G07, you will see that on the cap, the G05 actually looks like it would be darker. As to where that's not true. The G07 that looks lighter is actually darker. So here is, where's my pen? So you can see what I'm talking about. So here is the G03, the G05, and the G07. Okay, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see. So when you're looking at the caps are not always going to be true to their colors, okay? So try not to look at your caps, except for if you're looking at the numbers. So the 7, the 5, and the 3 is going to be how dark each color is going to be, what the darkest color is. The 0, or like, let's see, this one has a 1, okay? So the G14 has a 1 in the center. That's how, it's supposed to be how much gray is in the color. But I say for me, I say how dirty the color is. So like your G, let's see, your G14, here's your G03, okay? And then your G14 is just going to be dirty. It's almost the same as G05 because it's just one color, the back color is apart. But as you can tell, it's not quite a true green. It's more of a dirty green, okay? So this is G03, this is G14, and this is G05. So the 4 makes it lighter than this color, but it's dirty because of the 1. It's got gray in it, as to where this one is more of a true green. So those things are going to help you when you're picking out colors. Do you want it to be dirty green, like a darker grayish green, or do you want it to be a more true green? So, and I usually look at this, and they do make color charts, just regular old color charts. And most of you have Sandy, is it Sandy, Sandra Alanock, her hex chart. I have it, but I don't have it filled out right now. But this is another chart that I have, and this chart's really confusing for a lot of people, so I thought I would explain it just a little bit. So this is going to go through all the different spectrums of the colors, okay? This is also going to go through your spectrums of your grays and what grays work best with what colors. Now, if you guys want me to put this in the group so that you guys can download this, I do have a copy of it, and I can put it in there for you guys to download or to look at, or, you know, whatever you want, okay? So one of the questions that I've been asked is when to use grays. What colors, when do you use? So the cool grays, okay, for me, I use mostly just to use black. To make black, I use the cool grays, or sometimes I'll use the N's, but for the most time I use C's. C's work best with your cool colors, which is going to be your B's, okay? Your B's, a little bit of your G's, okay? Your warm colors, your W's, are going to work with your reds, your orange, your yellows, stuff like that, all your warm colors. Your T's, which is, I want to say tone, just tone gray, is more for your, like your pinks. Your N's are your neutral grays, okay? That's more for your BVs, your V's, you know, your purple colors. One of the things that I do use my W's for is because your W's look more brown. Okay, so with the browns, I use this a lot for like dirty snow. Let's see, dirty snow, I'll use it for shadows. Another good thing to use your grays for, okay, because I know a lot of you don't have all the colors, okay? So a good thing to use the grays for, and see, I'll show you the W's. So the W's, here's W3, okay, that's like a brown, to me anyways. Let's see, and then, let's see, I used 3, so here is C3, okay. You can see how that is more of like a really light gray, which is also good for snowmen. Let's see, where's my, yes I do. I didn't think I had it, but here is N3. You can tell that N3 is a little bit darker than the C3. And it has a little bit, it looks a little dirty, but not quite as dirty as the other. And then here is T3, which is toner gray, which is like gray, which I've used my teas for like polar bears and things like that. So that's all three grays. So here's W3, C3, N3, and T3. So you can see a little bit of a difference. Maybe I need to come in a little bit more. But you can definitely see that there's a bit of a difference between all three. This one's dirty. That's more of a brown. This has a bit of brown. This is more like gray, and then this is more like a silvery gray. So it's just a matter of what you're really looking for. W's also work good for like moose antlers, reindeers themselves. I do use the W's for a lot of things that should be brown, but I don't want it to be like a deep chocolate brown, okay, for the E's. So one thing that you can do with your W's, if you don't have a lot of the colors, or the W's, the C's, the T's, whatever you want. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to use, not that one. I'm going to use one. This is G03, okay? So I'm going to do 4 little blops of light. Okay, so this is all G03. Okay, and then here is W3. You can see how it changed to the green. Here's N3. You can see that it made it different as well. Here's C3. And here's T3. Now, depending on how much darker you want your green or anything like that, you can change your green. Another thing you can do is do your G03. Okay, let it dry for a second or two. And then go over it again, and you'll get a darker green. For those of you who don't have all of the colors. Okay, every layer you put on, it's going to make it darker. So I can go back again, and it's even darker. So for grass and things like that, I have a certain set of colors that I pretty much go with. And I've listed all the stuff that I pretty, like my normal, like kind of go-to colors. But when I'm looking, I don't look at the caps of the colors. I say, okay, I want orange, or I want this color, or I want whatever color. And I can't show you right now because I don't have my extra tablet. But I go to Pinterest. That's a good place to go for colors. I go to, most of the time I will go to Google, and I will Google the colors. Like I will Google, say pumpkin, for instance, okay? And then when I open up, I'll go to my YRs because I know a pumpkin is yellowish orange or yellowish red. And I'll just go through and I'll look at the picture and I will see what colors look closest to me. Most of the time I can tell you right now, if I'm looking at clothes, if I'm looking at, you know, flowers or pumpkins or whatever the case may be, even like skin tones, I go to pictures on Google to see what the real thing looks like. I know I'm coloring something that's not real, like a cartoon character or something like that, but it helps me get the colors. I am not in any way, shape, or form a genius when it comes to colors or putting colors together. Believe me. I go to the pictures of the real thing, and it helps me with the colors. So, like I said, most of the time, you can even go to, here, let me grab it really fast. Let me see, okay. Here is a piece of cardstock, okay? Well, pattern paper, whatever you want to call it. Say I wanted to color match this, okay? So this is like an RV, a red or something. So I would just go through and look, there are RV 81, RV 83, and 85. Match this color, okay? That's all I do is I grab something that it looks close to. There's one. Let me see what else I got in this little, this is some paper I printed out the other day. So let's try this one. This is like a dirty brown. That would be like our W's, right? Can I find them? Where are they? Here they are. So W's, just go through, and this is like a W, like between W2, 3, and 4 is what I would use to match this paper. I hope any of this is making sense. Y'all are being really quiet. But this is how I pick colors. Most of the time, I don't really like matching to my patterned paper. I'm crazy that way. I know, I'm totally weird. But like I did him the other day, and I just wanted some khaki pants. But these came out more green, not really khaki. But all I did was I looked on my chart, okay, and I know the E's can be totally confusing because some of them look red, some of them look brown, some of them look green, and it's kind of like, where are we going with the E's? So when I looked up the E's, I just looked on here to see what looked most brown, because on my chart, the E's, I've got 3 pages, okay? So I just went through, and the 84, the 81, that looked, actually matched it up to my husband's work pants, because he has some khakis that he wears to work. And so I just matched it. I went into his closet, and I matched up the colors to his pants. I did go, you can tell I went a little bit too dark green, that I should have stayed with these colors, but it still turned out okay, so I'm not too worried about it. And then let's see, what was one of the other questions? So the E's, you have to think of instead of just thinking of it as an E is considered an earth tone, right? So with E's, you have your clay bricks, okay, which would be like E7 through E9. I also use the E's for hair, for red hair, which the ones that are closer to the zeros, like the 9 through the quadruple 0, are going to have more red in them. Your E19 has more red, okay? So basically, all these colors here are these colors, but they have more gray, or they're more dirty. So you just have to figure out how dark you want them. So the E9 and the E19 are essentially the same, only this one is more dirty than this one, because this one has more gray in it. Okay, so same here. These are just going to be a little bit more dirty than the ones before. Actually, these would have made a good khaki color as well. a good thing to do, especially if you're trying, what is everybody trying to color? What are some things? Give me some ideas, some things that you've had trouble figuring out colors for. That way I know I'm not hitting on all the wrong stuff. That would probably help. So let's see. Golds, I actually, I cannot take credit for any of the golds that I have found. The golds are mostly the YRs because it's going to be, gold is going to be, you know, a lot of yellow. It's going to have a little bit of red in it. It's been kind of hit or miss. Okay. But for golds, I actually cannot take credit for. The gold I actually found on Pinterest, and I actually have these. These are all off of Pinterest. Okay? I don't use these a lot. I actually forget that I have them. And sometimes I don't like the same colors. They just don't blend well for me. But like this color is Sunflower, and these are all by Jennifer Dove. Okay? I think I have most of these on my Pinterest. I have a lot of these in the pages that I've done for you guys for go-to colors. But golds, let's see. So here is a steel color. Okay, so W1, 3, 5, and 7. Jennifer does follow the rules a lot when it comes to doing the different colors. Let's see, this one is tin, which is a C3, C1, 3, 5, and 7, which I use that more for black than for tin. Here's one that she did that is aged copper, which I cannot tell you that I've done that one or not, but it's E97, E08, E09, E47, YG91, and YG93. How she came up with those colors, I can tell you it's more than likely that she does the same thing that I did, and she looked at some copper and just picked what was closest. I'm trying to get to the gold here. So here's some tarnished gold. This is the one that I cannot take credit for because I did get it from Jennifer. This is a Y21, Y23, Y26, and a Y28. I normally don't use the 28 though because it's very, very dark. Let me see. Let me go ahead and grab those really fast and I'll show you. So 21, 23, 26, and 28. So the way Jennifer does it is she goes lightest to darkest, but you guys know I don't do that. So I am going to go just going to go ahead and go in like this. That was the 26. Here's the 23. Okay. Here's 21. And right now it still looks really kind of yellow. And then here's the 28. And then we're going to go back to the 26. And now if you bring that 28 out, it really, you can see that gold in there. But these are not, definitely not my go-to, because this is kind of, to me, this is kind of a dull gold. Okay. But those are a gold that you can use. Now, if you look at a belt buckle or something like that, it might be a little bit more shiny or something like that. So another one that I use, let's see. This one is YR23. Okay. So YR23, YR21. And again, this is just my perception of how gold looks. It might look completely different to you. And then here's Y21. Now, Y21, just because you're like, she just used YR21. Aren't they the same? No. YR21, if you can tell, has a little bit of an orange tinge to it. So they are, this is more yellow, this is more yellow red. So it's going to be more orange. So this is Y24. And then, or YR24. And then YR23. YR21. And you can still put the Y26 in there, which brings that deep gold in there, but it's more of a shiny gold than just a kind of a dull gold. So this one is Y21, 23, 26, and 28, as to where this one is YR21, 23, 24, Y21, and Y26. Whoops, 26. Okay. And why I chose those colors is, like I said, I started out with Jennifer's colors, and then to me it just wasn't bright enough, it wasn't bold enough. And so looking at different colors of gold online, I decided I needed to put a little bit of yellow red in it. So sometimes it's helpful to just remember, instead of saying why, I say yellow or yellow red or yellow green, stuff like that. Another question that I've been asked is about the BVs. Why do some of the Bs and the BVs, why are they purple? So the blues, as far as the blues go, like you get up to B66 and B69, those colors. Hey, Elizabeth. So you get up to those colors and they really start looking like a deeper blue purple. So the only way that I can explain that, because I don't know for absolute certain why it's that way. So this is BV04. This is like a blue violet. Is what I said before. The higher you go with this first number, the more gray that is going to be in there. Okay? So if you take, let's see, where's my BBB? My BB. Give me a B01, a B00, and a B1. Okay. So there's my B00. Here's my C1. The blue and the gray look almost purple. I don't know if you guys can tell that. Let me see if I can. But it almost looks like a real pale, pale, dirty purple. So blue and gray kind of make purple. So the more gray you put into your color, the more purple it's going to look. So that's where the blue comes from. So that's where you're just going to get more gray in there and more blue and violet. Let's see what I have questions written down. Here they are. Let's see. When to use grays, golds, reds, what goes and why, how to do tie-dyed. So tie-dyed is going to be more of just a feathering technique. And you can put almost any color together if you have a feathering technique that you want to follow. So I can put this blue and this orange together. So what you do is you take your darker one, okay? You always start with the darkest first. Well, that's really, what happened? Ugh. My camera is messing up again. Sorry, guys. And I don't think it's my camera because my camera looks fine on this end. I think it's just Facebook is being funky. So, there we go. Is everybody still with me? Yeah, Facebook's being funky, you guys. I'm really sorry. So, what you do is you start out with your darkest one, which in this case is going to be YR12. And you just go ahead and you feather it out. Okay. And you can actually feather it from both ends. Say that you're doing a flower or you're doing a t-shirt or something like that. And you want orange in the middle, like you're making a circle or something. And then, good gracious, I wish this camera would stop messing up. So then you just take your blue and you can go in, you actually just feather into it instead of feathering out, you feather in. Okay, it's going to take a couple passes because that is darker, but you will be able to feather into it. Okay, so that's how you would do tie-dye or something like that. You can do it with, say you want, Y13. I'm just picking any old colors because it said tie-dye. So I'm going to pick Y13 and Y12. I'm going to start with the 13. Can you guys see? Is it just my camera being funky or is it everybody's cameras being, is it Facebook that's being funky? And then the Y13, you just go back in. And that's how you're going to make tie-dyed or take two colors that wouldn't naturally go together, but you make them go together. So you can also do that with the YR12. Okay, you could make fire this way or, other things. And then this is Y13. And go back in the other way. And that's super fun. I'm going to go out of here for a second and see if this is, there we go. Oh, thank you. I wasn't even oh my gosh, I was not even getting your comments. Holy mac and cheese. Okay. Yeah, I think it was my stuff. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, definitely don't, Corinna, if you're still here, Don't go buy the caps. Go buy your sheets of paper, and I will upload some of the sheets. I will upload this if y'all want to. Let's see. Nadia, you were asking about flowers. Flowers are the same way. They kind of go like this if you want to do two-toned flowers. They would do, rewind. They would go, the feathering would go like this. If you want to do two-toned flowers or just the same tone flowers, you could start out like this. And let's see, go to Y17, and you would just, you can even go like this. But see, if you start out with the light, you're going to have to go back over the dark with it. But you can still go back in. So that's feathering. And that's how you can do tie-dye and all kinds of different things. So flowers, like Nadia was asking, flowers, I have the roughest time with flowers. Flowers are my nemesis, complete nemesis. So what I do is if I have a flower that I have to do, I usually go online and I will look at the flower and try to match it up. Like, let me grab, ouch, let me grab this really fast, if I can, off of my wall. Nope, it's not coming off. It's definitely stuck. Trying to think of a flower that I've done lately. Let me look. Let's see. This is just all stuff that I've done that I have colored, and it doesn't look like I have any flowers in here. Not like flowers that I've done. So I don't have anything in there right now of flowers that I've done. But like I said, if you just go to Google, like look up roses or fire roses or something like that, and you just match the colors. And you guys can always come to me and ask me, hey, what would be a good color for this be? And I would be happy to look it up for you to see, you know, what I think I see. And it's just a matter of color matching to see which ones would look best with whatever flower you're trying to color. I don't normally do a whole lot of crazy flowers because I'm so bad at them. So I tend to stick to colors that look like the actual flower. This chart, I know that no one really likes, but this chart actually kind of goes through, and I don't know if anybody's ever been explained this or not, but if you go this way along this line, these are all colors that will go with each other. So like if you're trying to do BGs, BG23, BG34, BG49, and BG57 will all go together. They'll all blend. BG15, 32, 45, and 53 will blend. Okay? You can also go this way. So this is BG 99, 96, 93, and 90. Those will all go. So this is all a chart, you know, because people are always like, oh, they'll pick this one and these crazy colors. But this chart will, if you go this way, these are colors that will go together. Okay? And you can also go that way. So either this way or that way, and they will go. Okay? You might have to work a little extra hard at the ones that are going this way, but they will all go. Does anybody have any questions now that I can actually see the comments? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I was missing comments. So, but here's even some of the Y's in the YRs. They'll go this way, and then you can also go this way. This is actually a really nice chart to have. And like I said, I will go ahead and I will upload this for you guys. Let's see, I don't think I have, no, this is just a color in chart that I've already put up for you guys. So let's see, I'm trying to think of any other ways I pick colors. The only way, those are the only ways I can think of is I usually go on Pinterest. If I have like, I don't know, like a really hard, like, you know, like maybe this, maybe I'm looking for like some rainbow color or something. These are, like I said, you can look up Jennifer Dove, Dove Arts, and she has tons of colors. If you look in the files section of the group, I also have my go-to colors for stuff if you want to go through those. And you can write down your favorite colors too, because I have a chart that looks like, I think it's like this one, that looks like this in the group that you can download and make your own color charts as well. Okay? This is just a book that when I used to teach classes at my house, this is just a book that people used to be able to get when they came to class. So they would have all these pages. So let's see. Trying to think of any other ways that I look, just pictures on Google of real things, or looking at my chart that I actually colored, because even these can be off. Because something that you color, the best thing to do is to color a chart that is actually on the paper that you use, because the paper that you use, the chart is going to be more true to that color. So if you print any of them out, not this one because it's already colored, but one that you could color yourself, you want to do it on paper that you use for your everyday coloring so that it'll look more true. So I'm not sure what else. Let me see if I'm missing comments again. I am missing comments again. What is going on today? You're interested in the fold over Copic item you keep, perhaps you mentioned it in the beginning of the video, purchased somewhere, and then you feel this thing, Elizabeth. Is this what you're talking about, sweetheart? So the Copic swatch book, as far as I know, I can still get a few of these. I will look to see if I can still get them. You might want to check eBay. eBay is a good place to check for these. This is another thing that I used to give out with my Copic classes when people came in person. So this is, you can also, I will upload something, Elizabeth, that you can print out as well. I think the reason they got rid of the Copic swatch book, which is this thing, is because now they have an online app for it, but what that really doesn't help us at all. So let's see, they came out with swatch cards. I haven't seen the swatch cards. Let's see, when you're making a card, what do you match first, paper or the project that you're coloring? Honestly, I don't color match anything. Whoops. Like, we're going to color this on Thursday. So this, I've already colored. And let me grab the card that I colored. Hi, Buns. So remember when I said I use real objects to color. So when I did this, okay, I actually have a sweater that's, or a little vest sweater thing that's similar to this because I love polka dots. The bun, this, I will post pictures later, but this bunny actually looks just like my daughter's bunny, Lolly. This looks just like my bunny, Peaches. And then this bunny looks like my friend's bunny named Cinder. So again, it's just after real bunnies that I've actually colored everything. So I'm going to do another one that looks like my new bunny, and her name is Carmela. So she will be all brown and blacks. So it's just, I don't really color match paper. There are a lot of people that do color, they pick out their paper first. They figure out which image they're going to do. Then they pick out what patterned paper they're going to use, and then they color match to the paper. I have a hard time doing that, so I tend to let the image inspire me, like what buns I'm going to color and stuff like that. If you'll notice, I don't use a whole lot of patterned paper, mostly because I have a hard time color matching to it. I love pattern paper. I have a ton of pattern paper. Like, I can't even tell you how much pattern paper I have. It's ridiculous. But I tend to just color match. Like, this is just Stampin' Up! Paper. This blue. Okay, but if you'll notice, this isn't even matched to her clothes, because I picked this after I already colored her. So it depends on what helps you the best. Let me go out and go back in and see if I get another. Okay, so that looks like something that, the swatch cards look like something that I have not seen before. I will have to go check those out. Thank you, Paula. So, but again, you have to do it the way that makes you comfortable. I have a good friend that she will pick out her paper, and she will stick with the paper. Me, on the other hand, if I stick with the paper, I get frustrated because I'm the kid that I would make my lunch for school in the morning, or even I would make it for when I went to work during the day. But then by the time I got to lunchtime, I didn't want what I made. So I would go out and buy lunch, or I would get a different lunch. So I always change my mind. So when I'm making stuff, I just let the image just inspire me as to what colors I feel like using that day, or what I feel like using at all. So that's one thing you have to find your own rhythm for, of what you want to do. So like, I don't know, like this image that we colored the other day. So hippos just look cute. To me, hippos look cute in pink. So I did her in pink. And then her drink, I just figured she needed to have like a tequila sunrise or something like that. So I just made it orange, because tequila sunrises are orange to me. Orangey red, kind of. So I just went after what it really actually looks like and just did the colors. So it's a little bit, I don't know, everybody works in their own ways. They pick their colors in their own ways, but I can definitely suggest that you don't go by the cap of the color. And if you're wondering about certain colors or something like that, definitely see, you know, if you're like, I don't know if these are going to go together. Okay. So here, I'll just randomly pick a couple of colors here. So here's R08, R00, and R02. Let me get this book out of the way. So what you can do is okay, so I can definitely see that the R00 and the R02 will blend together, but I don't think that R08 will blend real nice. So what I'm going to do is I will grab something a little further down, the R05, and that might actually blend. Okay, and I just put them together and I play with them to see if they'll go. Okay, and you can also go blend it in if you want. Or let's see, someone told me, you know, like I'll use R23 and G24. They're both green, but one is a yellow green and one is a true green. So they don't go together completely, and I just colored over that on accident. But they do kind of go together, but they will go together if you're doing grass, because your blades of grass are not all the same color. You have light blades and you have dark blades. So it works as a light color and a contrast color. Let's see, what else? Let's see, EO7. Or here, I'll show you the EO9 and the E19. So your EO9 is going to be your more true color. Okay, that just makes me think of bricks or the clay dirt that we have here. And that's the same thing, but it's going to have more of a gray tone to it. Let me see. I keep having to go back in. There we go. What's the YouTube link, Paula? I don't know what that is. So let's see, what else? Like I said, most of the time it's just playing with the colors. Are you coloring bricks? Are you coloring, you know, wood? Are you coloring a shirt? You know, what are you looking for? Warm colors? Are you looking for cool colors? Stuff like that. So, I'm kind of lost as to what else I can say about picking colors. Yes, time does go by really fast. So I can't believe it's already almost 4 o'clock. Although I can feel it because my throat's a little bit sore today. So, you know, you can use the E's for clay. You can even use some of the brighter R's, like the R27. Look, the R27 would be a good clay color too. Especially that clay dirt stuff that we have up here in North Carolina. Or down, depending on where you are. But that is actually what our dirt, the color of our dirt looks like. So if you take that and add in, let's see, this is EO7. In our R27, you have like a fire brick color. So just, I would suggest, excuse me, I would totally suggest just getting a blank piece of paper and just play. Just go through your colors and say, I wonder if this would go or this wouldn't go. Just play with your colors. Don't be scared of, you're not going to ruin the tips. If you do, you're not going to ruin them at all. So here's EO9. That's like real red, like super red. And then let's put in some, see, I'm just totally playing right now. I've never done this color combination before, so that's not going to work. That was YR24. So here's YR27, and that one works, okay? Because 7 is closer to 9. So there's one of those funky combinations that you wouldn't think of because that's a YR. Okay, here's 24 if you want it to come out a little bit lighter. But just go, the easiest thing is to go by the numbers and remember that the first number is going to be dirty, the last number is going to be how dark it is, and then the first letter is either earth, yellow, red, or whatever. So you just have to look at what you're you know, trying to do or what you're going for. I can't think of anything else except for really just to play with your colors. I always have a piece of paper like this down when I'm coloring, just a piece of scratch paper. You know, it can be a little piece of paper, it can be a big piece of paper, whatever you want. But whenever I'm looking for colors, I do exactly what I'm doing here with you, to see if they'll go, to see if they'll blend, to see if it gives me the color that I want to give it. Just like the other day when I was doing the pineapple with Paula and everybody. I don't know if you all were here, but I was doing, I know this isn't the color I was doing, but this is YO2. And then I wanted it to be kind of like a dirty green. And I just wasn't getting it. See, so that doesn't go. So let's go to, let's see here, because they're kind of a brightish. So let's do Y15. And we'll do 81. And then there's that dirty greenish pineapple-y color I was looking for. So it's just a matter of playing with your colors, trying it out on scratch paper to see if it goes. And seriously, I cannot emphasize enough, use Google. Like seriously, use the image tool on Google to look up images to see what they are and try to match your colors. That is exactly what I do most of the, like, I would say 99.9% of the time is I'm going on Google and looking up pictures to see what they really look like. So, let me go out one more time, make sure I don't have any more comments. So when you blend over the first color, you lay down with the second color, then with the third, and you go from the beginning. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, Debbie. So I do start out with, like, if I have 3 colors, like say I want to try out these 3, okay, I go front to the middle because this is the 7. Okay, so that's YR27, and then I'll go YR24. Okay, whoops. And then E09 is going to be my dark contrast color. And then, yeah, I guess and then I go back and smooth that out a bit and pull that out. And it's mostly just to see if it'll work and to see how it's going to go, because that's how I color on my stuff. So if I color skin or I color anything, I start out with my second to darkest color, which would be the 27. Then I go to the light, and then I go to the very dark, and I blend it out again so that it'll be, so that way I can figure out what it will be when I go to color my image. So I color it exactly the order that I would be using. Now, if I get halfway through, say I'm using, I don't know, I just picked these 2 up. These probably won't blend, but here is G24. Okay. And then here's E84. Oh, it does. Look at that. See, I didn't even know. Look at that. Okay, so there's E84. And then G24 again. It just makes it darker, but it actually blended. See? So there is a combination that I normally would not think would go, and there you go. So, but I do stuff like that all the time. I just grab a couple colors and see if they'll go, and if they go, they go. If they don't go, they don't go. I just try something else until I get the color, the look that I'm looking for. Okay? So experiment, play, get, you know, I would suggest doing this, like just sit down one evening and while you're watching TV or something, just experiment with your colors. And if you find one that you like, write it down. Keep track of it, but experiment, play, and have fun, okay? So I will see you guys later. I'm going to pay my son to put all these markers away. And I will see you guys later. Bye. Thank you for joining me. Remember, if you have any other questions, ask me, okay? See you later. Bye.